We know the things that make us feel better. I know that going to yoga makes me feel better. I know that not drinking coffee on an empty stomach makes me better. I know that not sitting on my phone scrolling and numbing or emotional eating, like not doing those things make me feel better. But this week I found myself doing all of those things. I didn't go to yoga. I was on my phone scrolling, comparing, looking for validation, feeling lost, like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I here? Drinking coffee on an empty stomach, feeling shitty, and like knowing in my head that I'm doing these things. And why do we do this? Why do we fall back into these old habits and patterns? And it's really simple. These old habits and patterns were created to keep us safe. When we didn't have the knowledge or the understanding on the things that made us feel better in a healthy way, we found these things to help us cope with our situation. For me, I emotionally eat. I didn't learn how to share my emotions. I didn't learn how to speak my mind. I was a people pleaser, just nice girl. Nothing ever made me upset, easy. And I would feel things, but I would emotionally eat to stuff it back down. And these habits are there to keep us safe. Yeah, we don't want them maybe now, but we have to recognize and look at them as at one point they served us. At that time, we didn't have the knowledge that we have now. And now we know better, but these habits are so deeply ingrained in us. And this is where the tricky part happens, is these habits think it's doing something good for you, but in reality, they're not. And that is where we have to start shifting, is recognizing these habits and identifying and being like, okay, I see this, I see what you're trying to do, but I want better. And this is what's been happening for me. I'm stepping into this new identity, and I have been feeling like I've been going through the ringer, and all of these old habits want to come back to play to make me feel safe, because stepping into a new identity, becoming a new person, a new version of yourself doesn't feel safe. Your body doesn't know what to do with that. It's like, okay, I've never done this before. Is this going to be good? I don't know. No, you don't want that. Just come back to this lower version of you where we were safe. No, just eat again. No, like don't try to be better, because our bodies are wired for survival. In caveman days, it was like, okay, you go and hunt at 8 a.m. every morning and you don't get eaten by a lion. Okay, and so we hunted every day at 8 a.m. because we knew we weren't going to get eaten by a lion. But now we don't need to do that. We can become new versions of ourselves, and it is safe. So it's like we have this pull of beliefs, and we are trying to walk away from it, but there's this rubber band around our waist, and as soon as we get too far from that safety, that rubber band snaps us back to that old way of being, because it's like, wait, you're stepping too far from my comfort zone. I don't know what's going on. So this is what I work with, is subconscious beliefs, breaking old habits, old patterns, breaking into this new identity, because it's more than just I want more. You have to go into your subconscious patterns and your subconscious mind and start to rewire it and identify it. So if I spoke to you and this is calling to you, this is your sign to book a hypnotherapy session. If that's not where you're at yet, that's totally fine. I am creating a master class all about this. It is called This Is Her Era. Stepping into that new identity that you want and why we can't. And so, yes, if any of this calls to you, this is your sign.